Welcome back to Nick Lenz's Comic Corner, Classics as Non-Classics. This episode 935 and Doubleshot number 829. Like I said in my last video, which was Ace Attorney, view of a DC trade and a Marvel trade. First up is DC trade. This review of Red Hood and the Outlaws Volume 4 League of Assassins, written by James Taylor IV. People are thinking, what, an issue is not written by Scott Lobdell? Yes, it did happen. I kind of skipped over Volume 3 because I thought that would just contain the family issues. No, it actually contains more stuff than that. I'm going to order that next. So, this book contains issues 19 to 26 of Red Hood and the Outlaws Volume 1 and the first annual. Of course, written by James Taylor IV. Artwork, only like one artist. Actually, is one major artist this whole time, and that's Julius Gopez. With also artwork by Al Bedivo, Jeremy Hoon, Ray McCarthy, Wilda Wong, Sutter Fur, who's an artist who frequently works with Tony S. Daniel, Wayne Fletcher, Ian Churchill, and Ken Lashley. Ken Lashley and Matt Yankee does the cover art here. The story for this one, well, starts out with issue 19. Now, I should talk about issue 19's cover. This was something, now anybody who remembers the solicits that came out during the period of time, I think it was in 2019, they had this thing where the covers are basically gatefold covers, and basically there's like, you have like a half cover, like showing this off first. That's the cover you see, you put on the shelf, and then a lot of books basically pull out, and it looked like this. Yeah, this is basically a lot of covers did this. Yeah, all issue 19s that came out, well, that were basically from number 1 for New 52, did this particular thing. Also, this artist has a thing for changing the look of Starfire's costume in here. First, you have the look where she had the start of the series, where I should point out this is not the look she has at the start of this. Oh no, that's not the look she has. Yeah, in the book she has a completely different look. In the book, they never explain of why in the world her outfit changes. Yeah, her first outfit is the outfit she had at the start of the series, where you have looked like she's wearing like a regular bottom, looked okay, looked like she's wearing tape over her nipples, and of course shoulder pads. Yes, this is the look she had in issue 1, in the first issue here, issue 19, and then for some reason at the start of the next issue, her outfit changes to where the straps themselves, you got like straps here, and they're like attached to her outfit now, and they go around her back. Yeah. Despite the fact in the previous issue, her back was completely bare. Yep. And the outfit changes again, this time to where it looks like this, where the straps are not going to her back, it's going to her bottom. Yeah, as far as I can tell, in book, there is no explanation for this at all. And then we have changed once again. Yep. Yeah, it's changed for the 4th time to... What's changed to that? Let's see. I think it's changed one other time in here. Yeah, but it does kind of go to this look a bit. Yes. In story, there is no explanation for this at all. I do have a theory of why. Because at the start of the story, basically Jason Todd has apparently lost his memories of Roy Harper and Starfire. And this woman basically is kind of altering reality a bit. That could explain why the change of costume, but as far as I can tell, the book never acknowledges this at all of why in the world Starfire's costume changes in here. It changes like twice over the course of about at least about 8 issues. Yeah, and the whole thing with League Assassins, yeah, we have Ra's al Ghul making his first appearance in the New 52. Well, not in, let's say, Batman Inc. Yeah, you have him in here. You have Bronze Tiger, a look that later gets retconned in pages of frickin' Deathstroke, where he looks like a Tiger Man. Yes, I'm not kidding about this. Yeah, they actually have Bronze Tiger in here, a guy you know wearing a tiger mask. Oh, and Roy Harper does this at the end of one of the issues. Yeah, he looks like one of those stereotypical characters from the 90s. Oh, look, I got a bunch of guns, weapons. Yeah, he looks like a character from the 90s. One person kept theorizing, though, is that this version Roy Harper is somebody plucked from the 90s. Oh, yeah. And also, Hugo Strange pops up in here as well as Roy Harper's therapist for some reason. Yeah, the book never bothers to explain it. Yeah, but when Bron Steiger shows up in 28 Snail's run for Deathstroke, he kind of goes back to the classic look that he's not wearing, but wearing an actual tiger mask. Now he looks like a freaking Tiger Man. Yeah, they kind of retcon that because I think 20 years down even realized, oh, that was a stupid look for Ron Steiger. Let's do his actual look. Yep. Also, we have Roy Harper's first ever meeting in the post-Flashpoint continuity with Cheshire, the mother of Leanne Harper, a character who does not exist in this continuity at all. Oh, and also, after this storyline, Cheshire himself would never pop up in DC Comics again until she popped up toward the end of Ben Percy's run. Yeah, she popped up for the last 6 months of his run. Yeah, the last 12, 15 issues of his run. She showed up there, and then she showed up recently in the pages of Titans, toward the end of the first era for Dan Abnett's Titans run. Last year, mind you, the book just got canceled just last month. After 30, actually just last week I think it was, got canceled 36 issues. Also, something that's been there since the start of the series, where Roy Harper and Starfire were in fact a couple. They break up by the end of the storyline. Yep, they break up, and they're still part of this group. Oddly enough, the group has... Here's kind of the weird thing about this group. They've never referred to themselves as the Outlaws the entire series. I've read it. That's kind of the dumb thing about the series. I mean, it's called Red Hood and the Outlaws, and they never refer to themselves as the Outlaws. Also, Cheshire had this thing in this book where she kept taking off Roy Harper's hat, putting it on her own head, and make it look absolutely silly. Yep, eventually Jason Todd does get his memories back, somewhat, when he breaks into the Batcave and reads his own file on Red Hood, basically on himself. Oh yeah, and it's confirmed that he's killed, at this point, 83 people. How in the world that Batman was able to confirm this? Probably a lot of research. Yep. Now, the annual itself, which gets kind of loosely tied into the storyline, has Roy Harper meeting up with Green Arrow. Which I should point out, though, this is the first time these two have met post-Flashpoint. Yes. Of course, they also have here revealed in a memory that Death in the Family still happens as continuity. Well, Death in the Family, the story done by Jim Starlin back in the 80s. That did happen. Apparently, Jason Todd, and according to this book, apparently in this continuity, this version of Death in the Family, that Jason Todd met Roy Harper prior to being beaten to death, beaten by the Joker and blown up by the Joker. Yep. Yeah, and of course Joker's referencing here as well. Why the heck not? Joker's got a history with Jason Todd. Yep. Let's see what else. Not much else. I'm kind of glad the fact that when Roy Harper moved over to the pages of Titans, they basically updated his look. They basically turned his hat backwards, but can't tell what type of hat he's wearing. At least he's turning his hat backwards, and he switched out his... I didn't like, though, he switched out his diamond mask for a pair of goggles. I thought that was weird. Now, in the opinion of when it comes to this particular era for Red and the Outlaws, the original run, not the current run, which is actually a lot better than this thing, better than this era. Is these issues better than Scott Lobdell issues? Yes, definitely, because you'll have Starfire written like a freaking sex pot, though she does have sex with Roy Harper once the entire time in here. Yes, only once, and then Roy Harper basically leaves her in bed butt naked. Yep. Yeah, I should point out, though, that James Tynion's Force run is not very long on this book. No, he's only booked for 10 issues, and then he leaves. And then the book gets handed over to Will Pfeiffer for a few issues, and then Lobdell is back in the book, and he stays with Red Hood up until present day. I give this book a 9 out of 10. It's a slight improvement. Now, I am going to get my hands on the previous volume and get my thoughts on that. But yeah, this is interesting, but I kind of wish they would explain the whole changes to Starfire's costume. Red Hood doesn't do much of these issues at all, except for his own memory wipe. It's basically all Roy Harper and Starfire, but I'm sure for a lot of people who are fans of the character Leanne Harper, Probably happy got a chance to meet Cheshire, but Roy Harper wouldn't encounter again until, well, Ben Percy's run for Green Arrow. I'm not talking about his run he had for DCU. No, I'm not talking about that run. I'm talking about his Rebirth run toward the end of it. That's when they finally met for the first time. That's when they finally meet up again, and of course met up again in Dan Abbott's Titans book. Which in that book they actually had sex. But nothing about if she actually conceived a child from him. Completely unknown about that. Alright, next up is, well, moving from 2013 to 1991, we have Nick Fury, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Classic Volume 2, collecting Nick Fury Volume 3, issues 12 to 13. 12 to 23. This book has got two writers, Bob Harris, who at one point was editor-in-chief of Marvel Comics. He was editor-in-chief in the I think he was editor-in-chief in the early 2000s. I think he was the immediate predecessor to Joe Quesada as editor-in-chief, with also D.G. Koster, I think it's pronounced the other writer's name, with artwork by Michael Blair, Kenneth Plower, who does a majority of artwork here, Bill Jacassi, Herb Tramper, and Jackson Gracie. Yeah. Now, those of you thinking, Nick Fury, you mean the guy played by Samuel L. Jackson from the Marvel Cinematic Universe? No, not that one. You're all surprised saying, oh, you mean Nick Fury who's black and he is the current Nick Fury in the comics? Nope. It's the one from the universe. Nope. It's the original one. Yes, I'm going to do a companion video explaining this, guys. I'm going to explain him right now. This version, Nick Fury, showed up back in the 1960s. Not the one that pops up currently. Nope. This is his father, Nick Fury Sr. And here's the thing. Unlike Junior, who's bald, this guy's got a full head of hair. And this guy fought in World War II. And you're probably thinking, how did he fight World War II? He's still fighting in the 90s. He has chemicals as by, just like Captain America does. It's called the Infinity Formula. And a formula that does not get really brought up very much. Yes, that's the reason why he looks the way he does. He's not the only one who got it. Gabe Jones got it, along with Dum Dum Dugan. Yeah, those names are recognizable because they've been in Marvel Cinematic Universe. Dum Dugan played by the guy who played Damien Dark on Arrow. As for Gabe Jones, I think he did show up in the first Captain America film, but he did not return for the episode of Agent Carter, which featured Dum Dum Dugan in Howling Commandos. The S.H.I.E.L.D. stuff is now. Why is it called Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. Despite the fact in the book he's referred to as director? They wanted something cool. Yep. Oh, and by the way, those of you curious though, if this guy was a soldier World War II, why is he a super spy? Well, there's kind of a reason for that. It's called James Bond 007. Yeah, apparently Stan Lee loved the James Bond film, so he took Nick Fury, a guy who was a soldier World War II, put him in, at that point, modern day, which was the 60s, and of course, in the first issue, it featured the first appearance of S.H.I.E.L.D., we had the first appearance of frickin' Hydra, back in Strange Tales number 135, which is also Nick Fury's first start of his run in that book up until the final issue, which was 168. He, of course, had a fantastic era when he was drawn by the awesome Jim Steranko, which, by the way, issue 23 in here actually has the logo from that particular era. I mean, look at this. This is the logo they had. If anybody's ever get a chance to read the original run for Nick Fury from the late 60s, this is the logo they used for the cover. That was the cover logo. This logo here on this cover. That's actually the cover logo for the actual series itself. Now, despite having fight Hydra in here, like he frequently does, he also teams up with Wolverine. Yeah, Wolverine pops up in here for a couple issues. The Fantastic Four, Captain America, a lot of really fun stuff in here. Of course, those of you probably thinking like, now Nick Fury did. Now I should point out though, Sam Jackson does take something from Nick Fury from the Marvel comic universe, from the comic version of him. Actually, two things: one being director of S.H.I.E.L.D., and two, popping up everywhere. Yes, this guy pops up in a boatload of comic books. Aside from his own book, he pops up in Captain America, Iron Man, Wolverine, Spider-Man. He occasionally pops up pages of the Punisher. He also pops up in Daredevil. I think what else does he pop up? He's also popped up in Black Widow, the first one anyways. I think he's popped up in the current volume, the previous one once. I think he's popped up like an issue of Thor once. He's pretty much a majority of the group books in Marvel Comics, basically the Avengers, the Fantastic Four. He's popped up in the pages of Defenders a couple times, and he's also popped up in the pages of the X-Men. Mostly early 90s stuff. And he did have, his original run lasted for 15 issues, but this run here lasted for 46. Yeah, about 4 years. Why it got canceled? Probably low sales. I have read a majority of it. It's kind of an odd run. There's at one point here where he fights frickin' aliens. I mean, this is Nick Fury, a guy who does espionage stuff. And here he's fighting off an alien invasion. Everybody thinking, alien invasion? You mean like how he was recently portrayed in pages of Original Sin? Where he was a guy who basically prevented alien invasions, with the exception of Secret Invasion, of course. Yeah. The whole Man in the Wall stuff. That was all Jason Aaron. Though apparently everybody at Marvel, except for all 3 writers, have forgot the fact he's currently the Watcher. The only people who did not forget was Jason Aaron, Dan Slott, and Mark Waid. Jason Aaron did it in the pages of Unworthy Thor. Let's see, he also popped up in an issue of Silver Surfer, which was written by Dan Slott, and he popped up for a couple issues of Black Widow. As far as I can tell, the only writers I can think of Marvel who have bothered to remember that, yeah, Nick Fury's currently watching now. Well, this is well before that. And this is a pretty good book. I mean, the stuff where they have with Hydra is so cool. And those of you probably think of the character Vipra. Green suit, green outfit, green hair, for Hydra hair, the whole part of face is covered up. Yeah. Here's kind of thinking about her. She actually appeared in the issue of Captain America. And she is kind of Captain America villain, but she also enemy of, Nick Fury. Because she has this thing where she loves being Madam Hydra. She's one of like 7 women who use the name Madam Hydra. One of the many leaders. Heck, even Nick Fury's long-term arch nemesis Baron Wolfgang von Strucker shows up in these issues. Yes, Baron Wolfgang von Strucker, a guy who got pretty much wasted in the MCU. He appears for 2 movies, he gets killed out by frickin' Ultron. But in the comic universe, he's awesome. He's an old man at that point. Bald old man. Monocle, basically traditional German stuff. Yeah, like Nick Fury, he popped up page of Nick Fury and the Sergeant Fury and the Howling Commandos. Yep. But this is an awesome book. I highly recommend it. Give this book a 9 out of 10, 9.5 out of 10. It's really good. Yeah, I picked this up of Nolly's for about $8. Yeah, for a book that was originally $35. I got this thing good. Yeah, I probably will get the first volume at some point. Yeah, I was kind of hesitant to get this because, I didn't see volume 1 there. I figured, though, why not? I mean, it's a good price. Yeah, I'm going to Free Comic Day in a couple weeks. Yep. Yeah, Free Comic Day is 2 weeks from Saturday, which I'll probably get some trades from that, and of course I get some trades from Comic-Con next month. Well, I get a chance to see several artists next month. I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, that's really a particular review. Unless somehow they upload Fairy Tail, this might be my last video to do today, okay? See you next video. Bye.